My name is Sarah, and I've always been fascinated by horror stories. Little did I know that my obsession with the macabre would lead me to a chilling encounter that would forever haunt my nightmares. One stormy evening, I found myself in a small town in the middle of nowhere. Local legends whispered tales of an abandoned house nestled in the woods. They said it was cursed, home to restless spirits who yearned to tell their stories. Intrigued, I couldn't resist the temptation to explore this house and uncover its secrets. As I ventured into the dense forest, the oppressive silence weighed on me like a shroud of darkness. The trees seemed to lean menacingly closer, whispering incoherent messages that sent shivers down my spine. Nevertheless, I pressed on, my curiosity refusing to yield to fear. Finally, I arrived at the desolate house, its crumbling walls mirroring the forgotten souls within. Despite its decaying exterior, there was an eerie charm that drew me in. I pushed open the creaking door, and an overwhelming scent of decay greeted me. The air inside felt heavy, laden with a sense of impending doom. Ignoring the warning bells in my head, I continued my exploration. As I moved through the dimly lit rooms, the unsettling feeling of being watched intensified. In the parlor, I discovered a collection of dusty old photographs. Their faces seemed to follow my every move, their eyes boring into my soul. One photograph stood out, a young girl with hauntingly vacant eyes staring directly at me. My heart skipped a beat, and I quickly averted my gaze, feeling an inexplicable connection to her. As night fell, I decided to spend the night in the house, eager to witness any paranormal activity. I lit candles to cast dancing shadows on the walls, and the atmosphere grew suffocatingly tense. Just as I was starting to doubt the existence of any supernatural presence, I heard faint whispers. It sounded like a chorus of forlorn souls telling tales of sorrow and despair. The hairs on my neck stood on end as the voices seemed to get closer, yet their words remained indecipherable. A sudden gust of wind extinguished the candles, plunging the room into darkness. Panic surged within me, and I felt a cold hand graze my shoulder. I spun around, but there was no one there. Only an icy chill lingered in the air. In the blackness, I stumbled upon a hidden passage. With my heart pounding, I bravely stepped forward. As I traversed the narrow corridor, the walls seemed to pulse with life. The unsettling sensation of unseen eyes fixated on me made my skin crawl. Emerging from the passage, I found myself in a secret chamber. A pale light flickered, revealing the spirit of the girl from the photograph. She floated before me, her eyes now filled with a desperate plea for release. With trembling hands, I reached out to touch her ethereal form. Her icy touch sent a jolt of energy through my body, and a torrent of visions flooded my mind. I saw the girl's tragic tale unfold, a tale of betrayal and tragedy, and a life cut short before its time. Tears welled up in my eyes as I empathized with her torment. She had been murdered in this very house, and her spirit had remained trapped ever since. I understood that she needed closure, but I was just an ordinary person. How could I help her find peace? Driven by compassion and a newfound purpose, I researched the history of the town. After weeks of diligent investigation, I discovered the truth behind the girl's murder. Armed with this knowledge, I returned to the house with a group of paranormal investigators. Together, we performed a ritual to free the girl's spirit. As we chanted, the air crackled with energy, and the girl's apparition wailed in anguish. But as the ritual concluded, a serene calm settled upon the house. The girl's spirit was finally at peace, and the oppressive presence that had gripped the place was lifted. As I left the house for the last time, I couldn't help but feel a mix of relief and sorrow. I'd encountered true horror that night, but it had also been a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Whispering Shadows would forever be etched in my memory, a reminder that some horrors are not confined to fiction. They exist in the darkest corners of our world, waiting to be heard and understood. And for those brave enough to listen, they may find a way to bring peace to those who have long been forgotten.